Hello everyone. So in I think a couple of my recent videos I did say I bought and built up a cabinet to sort of fit in the corner next to these other sort of boutique Blu-rays where I've got all the Arrow video and things. Did have the second sight up on there. Most of them were sideways on. I just didn't have much space, so moved them all onto the cabinets, and not only have I got more space on these shelves to grow into, but yeah, I managed to get a lot of them front on. So obviously as time goes on and I buy more stuff, I'll probably have to move a lot of these Arrow titles that are front on sideways, and then the same with these. So yeah, I've got more space to collect. Yeah, obviously you've probably seen this in the background of the recent video if you've watched it, but yeah, I thought I'd just quickly go through all of these. Yeah, not just the favourite ones I've turned front on, but the ones with sort of more eye-catching artwork, I would say. I'll just give you a little sort of sentence on each one, just so you know what the film is if you're not aware of it. So you've got Assault on Precinct 13 by John Carpenter. Basically like a siege kind of film in a, what do they call it in America? Like a police precinct, whereas here we call it a police station. Next you've got A Bittersweet Life by Kim Ji-woon. Similar kind of feel to Old Boy. Not saying it's ripping off Old Boy or vice versa. I'm not actually sure which one was out first. But obviously if you make a Korean film, sort of crime with martial arts and things, then it's going to have a similar feel. Next you've got A Banquet. One I haven't actually watched yet. Heard good things about it. Don't think it's a horror. I think maybe it's more of a drama. And you've got Boiling Point, Stephen Graham. This isn't usually who directs this? Philip Barantini. Also, I don't know if you could see that bit of glare coming through the window. Yeah, probably not usually my kind of thing. Film about chefs and stuff, but it's fallen down. I saw that after. Yeah, once I found out it was sort of, if not all of it, then most of it was in one take, shot in one take, and I found that quite impressive. Next, you got The Borderlands, British found footage film, really creepy. Yeah, the ending on that haunted me for days. I think the person one of the guys that stars in it, is the director of photography from Kill List. So yeah, a bit of a what do you call it? Relation to Ben Wheatley's films. Next, you got David Cronenberg's The Brood. Oh, I guess I should have been saying. So yeah, I think that's a 4K. I think the rest are Blu-ray. The Brood is a 4K. Sure everybody knows The Brood by David Cronenberg of Oliver Reed. Next, you got The Changeling, George C. Scott film. One of my favourite actors, George C. Scott, and yeah, one of my favourite haunted house kind of films. Quite a slow burn, but I enjoy it. That's the older version. I think Marcus from Xbox 2708 recently got like the 4K kind of one in different artwork, but I do prefer this artwork on this one, even though it is Blu-ray. I think that's the first second sight special edition, limited edition, whatever you call it, I ever got. Didn't really know what second sight was at the time, just like the Changeling, which I had on DVD, wanted to upgrade it. Sort of got this bigger version. Next you got Chopper, starring, what's he called? Mark? Don't tell me on there. It's Australian. I think he used to be a comedian. Eric Bana, that's it. Yeah, he's also in what's the horror film called? Something to do with the devil. Deliver Us from Evil. He's all probably in other things as well. Next you got The Coffee Table. This is a Blu-ray rather than a 4K. Quite a recent release. So much say disturbing if you don't see that much on screen, but just, yeah, really anxiety-inducing, stressful watch, I found. Next, you've got Creep. This is the found footage one by, I think it's called Mark Duplass, rather than the Christopher Smith film from, is it 2002? Right, I'll go down a bit lower. Next, you got Crimes of the Future, David Cronenberg's newest film. It's enjoyable and weird, but yeah, not one of my favourites by him, to be fair. I think that is the 4K. I've got Dawn of the Dead. This is the big chunky box, which is out of print. Found that one in CX in Birmingham. I think it's about £55. I think it is just a Blu-ray. I think the 4K one goes for nigh on £100. Next, you've got Dog Soldiers, the 4K. So that's one I recently bought off of Ash from Popcorn and Horror. He was, I think he had that on 4K and was like downgrading it to the Blu-ray. Next, you've got Frontiers. I think it's Xavier Gens. That's how they say it. Yeah, Gens. I think he did the I talked about a film he did recently. Can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's one of the French extreme horrors. It's kind of more of an action horror. Then you've got the Ginger Snaps trilogy. Oh, look, a lot of these bloody J cards are getting damaged. So yeah, you've got all 3 films of Catherine Isabel, who went on to be an American Mary. I can't remember the other girl's name. I've only seen that once years ago on DVD. I haven't actually watched it since I upgraded to this one. But it has got 3 of the films on, so good value. Got Gonjam Haunted Asylum. I think this is a Korean film rather than Japanese. Can't actually see on the back. Directed by Jung Bum Shik. So yeah, sounds Korean. Yeah, really creepy. Found footage. Sort of, I think they're in like a haunted asylum kind of thing. Next, you've got Green Room with Anton Yelchin and Patrick Stewart, directed by Jeremy Solner. Sorry, again, these Frontiers, Ginger Snaps, Gonjam Haunted Asylum, and Green Room are all Blu-rays rather than 4Ks. High Tension, I think this is the 4K. This is directed by Alexander Arjar, that does Crawl and Hitman and Hills Have Eyes remake and a few more American films nowadays. I put that down on the floor. I can't actually get that back in with one hand. Maybe I can if I squeeze it along. But yeah, again, another French horror, French extreme horror, also known as Switchblade Tension. Yeah, I think the DVD version I had was called Switchblade Tension. It does have, without spoiling it, a big twist in it, which not everybody's going to love. Next, you've got The Hitcher on 4K, one of the nicest, not just Second Sight films, but boutique labels of any kind in a long time. Really like that one. With Rutger Hauer, great thriller. Next, you've got The House of the Devil by Ty West. So this is just a Blu-ray. Came out quite recently. One of his older films. I think it was from before The Innkeepers. A good one. Now you've got Inside, another French extreme horror. Probably my favourite out of those lot. I'm wondering if they'll do Martyrs next, being as they've done these ones. See if I can find it was directed by. Don't know. Usually it says at the very end, doesn't it, a director, but can't seem to find it on there. First assistant director, photography. I think it might be Julia Mori and Alexander Bustillo. Sorry about that. It's quite hard to find that. Put that one back in a minute once I show these. Gives you a bit more room. Yeah, Inside. I think it's on 4K, but yeah, really good sort of home invasion. Quite a disturbing feel. Late Night with the Devil. Wasn't a massive fan of this. Sort of set in the 70s on like a kind of talk show. I know quite a few people didn't get on with it. I think that one's the 4K as well. Yeah, probably one of my least favourites I've actually watched so far out of all these Second Sight. Now you've got May, directed by Lucky McKee, starring Angela Bettis. Jeremy Sisto was from this TV series 6 Feet Under, one of my favourite TV series ever, and was also in, what's it called, with like the inbreds in the woods, Wrong Turn. Next you've got Monster, directed by Patty Jenkins, starring Bruce Dern. What's her name? Christina Ricci and Charlize Theron. Basically, sort of based on the true story of Eileen Werbrus. That was like a female serial killer in Australia. Got Possessor by Brandon Cronenberg, the son of David. I think that one is on 4K. Yeah, quite a good one. Preferred it to Antiviral by him, but I think I prefer what's it called? Deadpool. I'll remember in a sec. I won't let this go on too long. Session 9 by Brad Anderson, set in the Danvers State Mental Hospital, Massachusetts. Real location, really creepy film, starring David Caruso and Peter Mullen. Next you've got another Ty West film. So yeah, from his older ones, they've done The Sacrament. It's basically like about a cult leader kind of film. Session 9 and Sacrament are on Blu-rays. Yeah, so he's done House of the Devil and the Sacrament, and he's also got The Innkeepers out of his older film. Might have others, but that's the only ones I'm aware of. So hopefully they will release The Innkeepers next. I've only got that on DVD. Let me just turn that so we can see them. Got David Cronenberg Scanners. This one came out quite recently as a 4K. Not one of my favourite Cronenberg films, but after watching it again, it did go up in my estimations a little bit. Next, you got The Strangers, Liv Tyler, and Scott Speedman. Written and directed by Brian Bertino. That one's just a Blu-ray, although yeah, I think it has got like not the original Second Sight case in it. Yeah, it's a good home invasion one, but yeah, it seems to be quite hit and miss for people. I've heard the sequels and that aren't as good. Next you've got Swallow. This one's kind of a drama. Not really spoiler to say, but a woman sort of in a marriage where she's got no control, and the guy's family are trying to tell her what to do. So she sort of starts swallowing like pieces of metal and foreign objects, and sort of leads from there. Written and directed by Carlo Mirabella Davis. I've seen something else by them recently, but I can't think what it is. Next you've got Upgrade. I think it's Lee Whannell's first film. Yeah, I really enjoy this kind of a modern sci-fi film. Looks like one of those little Hexbug toys that I used to get years ago. That's on the front. Next you've got a Nicholas Roeg film with Jenny Agutter, Lucian John, and David Gulpilil. It's basically about a couple of kids get like abandoned in the outback by their dad, and they're struggling for food and drink and don't know how to survive, or should I say water. And then they meet a boy on what they call walkabout, where the Aboriginals would send them out to survive in the wild for I think it was 3 months, so they sort of become a man. Yeah, really good cinematography and score and stuff as you'd expect from Nicholas Roeg. Next you've got You're Next. I don't seem to be everyone's favourite, but yeah, I think this is one of my favourite slashers of last sort of 20 years or so. It's not just straight up slasher, it's got a bit more of a spin on it than that, but I won't say too much about it. That's all the special editions, and then got a few sort of standard ones. The Amityville Horror, I'm sure everybody knows that one, won't speak too much about that. Ben, which was, yeah, had a sequel called Willard with Crispin Glover, sorry. Censor, directed by Prano Bailey Bond. Not sure if she's done anything else, but yeah, really like the style of this. Not only it's sort of going into the censorship from like the, was it not the BBC? Was it like the BFI, British Film Institute? Basically back in the days of the video nasties, and she's got to censor them, and she's watching so many it kind of gets into her brain. And it's got a really good cameo by Michael Smiley, really good gore, quite a sort of shocking ending. She got Lake Mungo, one of my favourite found footage films. Really sort of good twist, quite a depressing, powerful sort of film. Yeah, really like the artwork on that. I'm not sure about Amityville or Ben, but I think Censor and Lake Mungo you can get on these special editions, but I've never seen them around. If I do upgrade them, then obviously I'd be able to trade in these sort of standard editions or move them on. Then Next of Kin. Not one I've seen. Stuart George from Stuart George's Home Movies recently passed me on an Australian film called Next of Kin, but it is different to this. This is directed by Tony Williams. It's basically about a woman whose mum leaves her retirement home, and then she moves in there and sort of creepy stuff starts happening. So I don't know if it's a ghost film or a bit more to it than that. Did I have those ones? Right, I'll put Inside back in at the end. So yeah, I mean, obviously I've messed them up a little bit since, but just a slow overview of them. So yeah, that's all the ones I've got. Next two coming out, Talk to Me, which I do like the horror of the film, but don't like the sort of annoying teenage protagonists in it. And yeah, I've got it on 4K, so I don't know why. I'm not saying don't know why, obviously they wanted to release it, but yeah, for me, no point really getting this version. And then I think there was a cop buddy drama with like maybe Paul Rudd or someone in it. I can't remember what it's called, like Best Guys or something. But yeah, I might get it the standard. Well, not even on Second Sight, but you know, the normal Blu-ray. I'm sure people have trade it in now if they're getting the upgrade. So I'll probably see it in CX, and that'll probably, yeah, I think I've seen it about £6 online or so. Watch that, and then if I really do like it, maybe I'll upgrade it onto the Second Sight, but not 100%. Yeah, obviously messed it up a bit because I'm doing this with one hand. Hopefully it didn't go on too long, at nearly 15 minutes. But yeah, that's all my Second Sight Films collection and overview. I know a few people are sort of collecting them themselves, so they want to see what ones are available. Some of these I bought new, some of them I found second hand and out of print and CEX at good prices and things. I mean, I think I paid 18 for that upgrade and 18 for Walkabout, and now both going for about 40. Same with that Session 9, I bought it new probably 12 years ago, 10 years ago, like 22, and that's probably now worth a lot more than that. Right, my next video, it's going to be my recent watches. I think I've got about 8 so far. I'm probably going to watch one tonight after work. It'll be about 9 to show. So yeah, probably record that tomorrow. Hopefully upload it tomorrow. I say tomorrow, depends what day I upload this. I'm recording this on a Saturday morning before I go to work. Right, so that's all of the Second Sight. Now they're on their nice new shelf. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.